gar, striking at the boat. It took Mike just one try to get the rope over the gar's head, and with a mighty pull, the fish was in the boat. Exhausted, we struggled the 100 yards up the hill to the holding tank, the gar twisting and snapping all the way. And with all of the energy we had left, one final shove, and the monster was in the tank. This fish, I knew, could walk to Detroit.
Well, let me tell you, there were a lot of smiling faces around Toothy's fishing camp, and probably the most smiling was Mike Kalush, the biologist from the Gulf Coast Research Lab and the National Fisheries Department decided to leave the hook in, telling us that they believed that the acid in the fish's stomach would eventually dissolve the hook. Now all we had to do was wait. The biologist felt that if the fish lived for the next 24 hours, the chance of survival was darn good. Then all we'd have to do was truck that gar 1,000 miles to Belle Isle. We settled in to wait. You'll have to, too, until tomorrow night.
How big was that fish, Jack?
6 feet on the nose.
On the
just
nose.
what they wanted from the aquarium.
What did he weigh?
About 110.
Nice. Thanks, Jerry.
Okay.
Jerry Stanecki joins us now with the conclusion of the great Motown gar hunt. A special report on Jerry's effort to replace a couple of alligator gar fish killed by vandals at the Belle Isle Zoo last July. Jerry?
Thanks, Jack. If you were with us last night, you saw that we finally had a 6-foot alligator gar in the holding tank on the semi in Pascagoula, Mississippi. We were 10 days into the mission and feeling like we were going to make it. It had been some experience, believe me, and we'd learned a lot about the gar. For example, the fish not only has gills, but it has an air bladder. It actually gulps air. All we had to do now was wait a day to see if the fish lived. Keep your fingers crossed. 24 hours had passed since the catch, and all was well.
Look at him come up.
He's doing fine.
Boy, take a nice big gulp of air for me.
Getting ready to move out, we picked up 2 small alligator gar that Ora's Cumvest had swamp rat P.E. Williams catch and hold for us. A child could stare at the small gar, I thought, and realize that someday they would grow to the size of our giant. Into the holding tank they went, just about the way everything else had gone, backwards. Then, one last touch, a small ceremony, and a sincere thank you to our friends in Mississippi.
So you put about 90 hours in the first 5 days like we did. I'd like you to be the first to sign it right up there. Send it back to the big city. Oris, without you, this would have never been done.
Detroit City, here we come, I thought, as we left Pascagoula. 30 minutes down the road, we were hit by one hellacious storm that didn't help our feelings at all.
Windshield wipers snapping out a tempo, keeping perfect rhythm with the song on the radio. They gotta keep it rolling. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way for me. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a sunny day.
The storm passed, and our mood lightened, but we still had 1,000 miles to travel. By nightfall, we'd made Cullman, Alabama, a little over 200 lousy miles. At this rate, I thought we'd be on the road till Christmas. The next morning, we were up early.
How's our babies doing this morning there, John?
I guess they're looking pretty good.
The gar may have been looking good, but we had a problem. Half of the water